What is up, YouTube? It's Dual Factory once again coming in with another deck profile. This time I'm showing you the deck that I played at Tinley Park yesterday. It is DDD. I didn't play all 9 rounds. I ended up only playing the first 6. I was X1-1 after round 5. And then round 6, I ended up getting sacked pretty hard. The guy was real cool. It's just Raigeki, Tinley, and a Dark Destroyer in hands. I can't win. So, I ended up dropping after that because there was no point, because I already had my invites. I was just trying the top 8. But, yeah, I'll get into the deck profile and show you what you guys I was playing. So, for the monsters, I was playing 2 DDD Rebel King Leonidas. Some decks either play this card or they don't play it at all because it's honestly not that great. However, since we don't have that many DDD monsters available to us right now, especially with the lack of the structure deck being out, I feel like you have to play him just because he has the 3Ds in his name and allows you to go into Oblivion King. So, 2 of that, and it wasn't that bad. I didn't open multiples of them, and then there was one game that I topped it where it would put me in critical range, but I topped it and got the life back, so it made it real good. The next card I play is I play 3 of the Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. He is the second best DD in the deck. He's a level 8, which is really important because it lets you go into your rank 8 plays. It also lets you go into Kali Yuga. And then his effect to banish other monsters on the field by tributing DDDs is really important. That's actually what, because I played 2 PK Fires, and I won the game because of this card, because it's a 3K ass, and it banishes their monsters so they don't get their graveyard effects, so it's really good. We play 3 Savant Kepler. To be perfectly honest with you guys, I hate this card. But you have to play it because you have to get to the Dark Contract with the gate. Because once you get to the gate, you win the game. And this gets you to it. The only reason I hate it is because it's 0-0, so they can OTK through it. So, but you have to play 3 because you have to see your contract. I play 2 Berfomet. This card, a lot of people only play 1. But from the guy from Team Samurai X, I agree with him. You have to play 2 because Wave King Caesar, the rank 4 XYZ, is so important to the deck. And then the best card in the deck is 3 Swirl Slime. This gets everything in your deck going. It lets you fusion summon, it lets you special summon guys out of your hands. I mean, the utility of this card is huge. All the games that I played, he was the big part of them. And then I played 2 Necro Slime. Some people play 3 if you play multiple Witch. I only play 1 Dark Contract with the Witch, so I only played 2. And then, to be perfectly honest, the games that I opened with this, my hands were real slow. But sometimes it does come in very handy sometimes. And then that's it for the DD monsters. And the only other monster I play in the deck is I play 3 Maxx. Naturally, this deck inherently wants to go second, just because it makes huge boards. But it doesn't have the utility of going second all the time, because either A, you lose the dice roll, or B, you're playing a deck that you know has a better advantage going second than you do. So I wanted to, even though sometimes, that being said, I still wanted to play the Maxx because I thought it was the best hand trap. So that's it for the monsters. Onto the spell, 3 Contract with the Gate. This is the rota for any DD monster in your deck. The minute you open this card, you're already in an advantageous position because it's going to put you ahead of the game. Because usually the deck has a little bit of hard time going out the gate at first, like the first turn or 2. But once this is established and once you get your flow of monsters going in, your opponent usually can't catch up. I do play 2 Swamp King. I don't like playing this card at 2 because of Monarchs are so prevalent. However, your matchup against Cosmo is so bad that you need it to go into the Wave Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok, and this card lets you do it, so I feel like you do need it, even though it does get shut down by Domain, but you have quite a few main deck outs to Domain and stuff like that, so we still keep it at 2. I play 3 Twin Twister to clear the way of the back row, because unlike a lot of monsters, this deck, even though the monsters you make are huge, they have a hard time staying on the board. So I want to make sure the back row threats and everything are off the field for when I actually summon my monsters on the field. I did play 2 Creature Swap. Because more or less, you want to open your Stratos in DD Savant Kepler. And then this card, it makes it to where opening the card's not terrible, because you can open it, get your gate, and then swap a 0 attack person over to them. It also, helps facilitate OTKs more if you open the Savant, one of the Slimes, and Creature Swap, then you can OTK your opponent through it, because you'll have whatever their monster is, as long as it's 24 or bigger, plus 2 28s hitting straight. And then the only 2 other spells I play 1 Raigeki to clear a board, and I play 1-for-1 to get to the Kepler, because I'd rather open this than Kepler, simply because it puts it in defense mode. Unless I open creature swap, then I'm just going to swap it over to him and attack through him. And that's it for the spells. For the traps, I play 1 Dark Contract with the Witch. This card's really good because it disrupts plays, and it makes my monsters, because they're all Fiend types, 1,000 points bigger than everyone during their turn. However, multiples of this card, to me, is just not great, because it's great. It's certain matchups where it's real good and certain matchups where it's real bad. Like a Cosmos is real bad because they can just tag out their monsters. PK Fire and Pure Burning Abyss are okay depending on what you hit with it. And this card absolutely destroys the Pepe matchup, not Pepe, Draco Pal matchup, because like you just blow up their skills and they can't do anything. And it's real good. I play 3 Solemn Strike because I think it's the best trap card currently in the meta. And then I play 1 Solemn Warning. And then I see a lot of people doing this. I don't know how I feel. I didn't think it was going to be very good until I actually played a couple games with it, and it was the reason I won. But I play 3 Rivalry of the Warlords because everything in my deck's Fiend. And then if you look at all the decks this format, they all use different types and focus around summoning different types of monsters. Like, for example, Cosmo goes from Psychic to Machines. Draco Pals do Dragon, Spellcasters, Beasts, all sorts of stuff. So this keeps them from making their huge boards. And then they can't go in their XYZs. The only one they can go into is 38, and they have to have 2 of the big guys first. And then, what was the other deck? PK Fire, they can't go into Dante. They can't go into Beatrice. They can't go into any. The only rank 3 I think they can go into that I can think of off the top of my head is Tempo, the I think it's Drum Degen or something like that. But no one plays that card, so it literally locks them. They can only play with their main deck monsters, and they're not very good. And then one of my favorite trap cards in this format is 2 Quaking Mirror Force. Permanently booking Moon your opponent's side of the field is really good, especially like against like Pepe, where they'll flood like a board full of cards, and then like they'll have like 4 monsters, and then you hit. They'll be so focused on trying to play around Strike that they won't play around this, and then Book of Moon's all their stuff, and then they're stuck with 1 monster slot while you get the cards you need to OTK them. So I love. It's one of my favorite trap cards, to be perfectly honest. And that is the main deck. It is 40 onto the extra deck. I do play 2 of the DDD Wave Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok. I play 2 because this is what wins your Cosmo matchup game 1. Most of the other decks you play, you're never going to go into 2 of this unless like you are grinding out the game for an extremely long period of time. However, his ability to take one of the opponent's monsters is non-targeting. So that's what gets to run your Dark Destroyers, and it's naturally bigger than Dark Destroyer or anything else in the Cosmo deck. So that's why I play 2, and he's honestly a really good fusion monster. The card I go into 3 of every single game is Oracle King Dark. His effect is very simple. As long as he remains on the field, anytime you would take damage, you gain the life instead. That's his entire effect, and is the best card in the deck. It's 2800 beater. It takes any 2 DDs to make. It's level 7. Oh, another reason why I play Rebel King Leonidas, because it's level 7 and it's relevant with Oracle King Dark because it lets you go into your rank 7 plays. Onto the XYZs, the only rank 4 that you'll play and the only one you need to play is DDD Wave King Caesar. More or less what he does is once during either player's turn, you can detach, and then at the end of the battle phase, you activate the effect. Any DD cards that were destroyed are special summoned back to your side of the field, and then during your next standby phase, you take 1,000 damage for every one destroyed. So, that being said, and when he goes to the graveyard, he also searches a Dark Contract, so he can search your Gate, your Swamp, or your Witch in the main deck. But basically, a lot of the times, I would end with these 2 on board, and then for Cosmos, it's extremely hard to deal with, because they can't really get over your monsters without destroying them unless they go first and open Cosmojo. So they would destroy your board, these 2 would come back, you would get a Gate, and because Oracle King Dark came back at the same time, you would gain 2,000 life points for them blowing up your board if they didn't OTK you. So that was a very big opening board I made all the time. And then I played the 1 DDD Marksman King Tell. I never went into this, however, his effect reads whenever you would take damage during either player's turn, you can detach and target 1 monster on the field, and then it loses 1,000, and then your opponent loses 1,000. So it's like a pseudo-cowboy, but I never went into it. And then the 1 Kali-Yuga, this card is phenomenal if you can go into it. It cold waves to field, and then you can heavy storm everything. Like, this card is phenomenal. The only downside is only DDD can make it. And unless you side XY Universe, which I side Universe because I play rank 7s and rank 8, so it's really easy to go into. But this is the game winner. Like, you drop this, you should not lose. And I also play 1 Infinity because I do side XYZ Universe. Onto the rank 7s, I play 1 Big Eye, 1 Flare, and then 1 Dracossack. the two ones I went into the most were Draco and Big Eye. I was never, not Big Eye, Red Eyes and Draco. There was never a situation where Big Eye would put me into a winning position, and then sometimes you need a decent rank, turn 1, XY rank 7 to go into sometimes. Draco was good to deal with problem cards, because Shadow Mirror was actually really popular. And then you can actually set your opponent up to lose with this card right here, and that's one of my favorite XYZs. And then the last two cards I play is I play one Divine Dragonite Felgrand, and then one number 38. These were the two best rank 8s I thought that I could go into. 38 is really good with back row, and then Divine Dragon Felgrand I think is better without back row. But like I said, it's all up to you on that one. And that was my extra deck. And since it was regional, I will show you my side. I did play 2 Fog King. I liked this over Master Restrict simply because it's level 7. And I very rarely use my normal summon in my deck. So it's all like special summoning based. So I could fuse for Oracle King Dark and just tribute it. And then I have a 2800 Fog King that it's extremely hard for Monarchs to deal with. They usually have to have 2 Field Spell or Mass Destruction to get around it. 2 System Downs. My Cosmo matchup's terrible, so I want as many outs to their spaceships as I can. And then I also play 1 Dark Hole. For the traps, I do side the 1 Dark Contract with Errors. This is the trap stone that you can turn on and off during your turn. It's really good with a lot of trap cards in the deck. For example, with you can activate this to turn off the Dark Contract with the Witch, so you'd only take 1,000 for the turn because this would be the only active one. So if you're in a position where it would deplete your life points, it's really good. I do side Anti-Spell, so being able to turn off my Anti-Spell is huge. Because I want to be able to floodgate my opponent during their turn, and then my turn I want to be able to activate my gates and my Swamp King. So that's really big. And then decks that are heavy back row, it's really good. Like, it's really good against Pure Burning Abyss. And so I wanted to play at least the 1 copy. I do play 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. Because you very rarely, if you ever put your monsters in the Pendulum Zone, you're usually losing. So I wanted to play a card that was going to flood out any Pendulum decks, and this was the best one. I side 2 Universe because it's really good against Pepe, it's really good against PK Fire and Burning Abyss, so I wanted to play that. 2 Magic Deflector to protect my my gates, my swamp during my opponent's turn. I also, when I sided in floodgates and stuff like that, I wanted to have an out to the Twin Twisters and the MSTs, and it's really good against Cosmo too because it turns off their field spell and it turns off emergency teleport. And then I play 2 Typhoon. Being as a lot of the decks, whenever you play like Draco Pals and stuff like that, they force you to go second. You want to be able to at least react on their turn, like disruption of their pendulum scales, because sometimes they have to open like a monkey board or something like that to do anything in the deck, and if you are able to stop the monkey board, it's good. Also decks that play like brilliant, like I played against Super Quantums, and you want to be able to out the Megazord before it hits the board. So if they have because usually the combo, they end up with Brilliant Fusion and the field spell on the field anyway. So you want to be able to out the field spell before it goes off, and that's why I play Typhoon. And that is my DDD deck profile for the Tinley Park Regional. The 6 rounds that I play, I'll go ahead and get into. My first round, I played against an Odd Eyes Magicians. And like I said, the reason I hate opening Savant is because it's a huge liability, and my opponent OTK'd me through it. The next 2 rounds, I played 2 PK Fires, and I 2-0'd both of them because they couldn't get around Oblivion King Ragnarok. My round 4, I played against a Satellanite player, and he actually was really good. It's just what happened is we got to an awkward point in the game where he'd already burned his Silent Honor Arc and Castell in game 2, and he didn't have an out to a 3k defense Oblivion King Ragnarok, so we just kept drawing until I drew the out to his board, and then we ended up going to time and then drawing. So that's how my round 4 went. My round 5, what did I play my round 5? Let's see, it was Odd Eyes Magicians, 2 PK Fire, Satellanites. Oh, Super Quantum. I played the guy playing Super Quantums, and I opened Rivalry both games, so he couldn't win. And then my round 6, I ended up playing Cosmo. Admittedly, in game 3, I got sacked with a Raigeki, E-Telly, and Twin Twister. So I wasn't winning that game. At that point, I was X1-2, or X2-1, I should say, with 2 losses and 1 draw. And I was trying the top 8, and with 2 losses, it's almost impossible to top 8. So I just went ahead and dropped him. My buddy went to Giordano's, and it turned out to be a great decision. But that was my DDD deck profile, guys. Always remember to like, comment, subscribe. The next videos, I'm going to bring you Raid Raptors, and I just picked up Foiled Out Mermail, so I'm going to profile that as well. So thanks for watching.